Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Today, Monday, August 10th, 2026. Oh. How are you doing? Got a lot to talk about today. Got a lot to go through this morning before I get into something different. Very different. There's a moment, I think, when you're a YouTuber or you're an artist, especially an artist, and you're trying to be creative, trying to be different, trying to do new things. Today's one of those days where I'm going to try something very different and see how it goes. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to try out a whole bunch of different things today. But first, before I get into what may be crazy and very different, what may be out there, we'll see. Before we get into that, we got to talk about the next painting. We got to talk about this painting here. The series, Our Bodies series. This is the fourth one of the series. Hopefully you can see me. Let's check in with infinity. There's infinity. Welcome to infinity. Yes, you can see me. So why am I painting this? This is something I do every single time I start a new painting. We start a document, we talk about it, we get into the purpose for the painting. We think about these things. We do these first because this is what is going to inform the rest of the painting. Every single mark that we put down, everything that we do, what I write here, what we write, is going to tell us where that painting needs to go. It's going to get a bit fun. It's going to be fun. So I've gone through this 3 times before because this is the 4th painting in the series. I had this crazy idea because I just painted a couple of hands and bodies in direct sunlight. I loved all the shapes. I like the high contrast. I like the figures. I do figures all the time. It's what I love. I love dealing with all that, but I ran out of reference images, which was a good thing. Random models that I don't know. Who cares about them? Well, I'm sure a lot of people care about them, but not me. I'm not like deep into that. It's okay. It's okay. You know, it's good to paint random references of things that we don't know, but I like connection with you, connection with people, connection with my friends, connection with everyone. More connection. We have the big companies out there trying to keep us away from all this connection. We'll get some application that will remove the process and the connection. But no, we say no. What if I take pictures? Because I don't have pictures anymore of direct sunlight. They're all inside of a studio with studio lighting. It's too controlled. It's all same. We don't want that anymore. What if I took pictures of me and my friends posing how I wanted them to do? But what if, so important. What if? Are you not asking what if all the time? What if I try this? What if this new material? What if these new brushes that I just got change up everything? What if? Ask what if in your artwork. What if I did it this way? What if I also made it meaningful when I took these pictures? Hands and bodies. How can hands communicate emotion and connection to the person's body? Not only in the painting, not only in this painting and in the stuff that we're doing here, but in the image. How can I help my friends think about their own bodies, their own ideas of mortality, their own ideas of what they love about their body, the empathy that we can have for ourselves, the empathy within what is us, which is our own bodies. What if I could take pictures and help them think about that at the same time? Interesting. The questions I asked for them. What part of your body do you love and you're not afraid to show off? We all have that, right? Hopefully. And then the hard question. We don't ask these questions, especially of other people. What part of your body do you have reservations about that you're afraid to show off, okay? I don't want people to see that I have a spare tire. I have a little bit more fat than I would like. None of us wants to show that, right? Then also, what part of your body that hurts, that ails you, surgery, scars, chronic, acute issues, things like that. 3 different parts of your body, things that we're thinking about. Deeper into that connection between us, but hopefully not in a weird way, right? So I asked him, not in a weird way, hopefully. Think about that part of your body. What emotion do you feel about that part of your body? But don't tell me, don't sit there and tell me the emotion. I don't care about the words. I do care about the words, but I can't paint the words. You know, I'm not going to paint the words, or maybe I can. Use your hands to try and communicate that feeling by touching that part of your body. Okay. And I took these photos in direct sunlight with this person, took a ton of image, and I picked out many that I wanted to paint. That created this series, Our Bodies. Okay. I think it may continue on for a while because I got models lined up. And I'm so lucky that she allowed me to, you know, into this personal and private space to take those photos. So thank you so much. This specific image, let's bring it down here. Oof, and it's moving. What happened? It's moving. That image, we'll get into that in a moment, don't worry. Why am I drawn to this image? Love for a body part communicated through hands. But now, after the second to the last session of Our Bodies 3, I want to introduce my authenticity and the way I make marks. And it's a little crazy sometimes. Hello, Rothko is what we're talking about here. The last painting. Did I show you the last painting? I'm not sure because I finished it off stream. Excuse me. You didn't think that every single stream that I have would be this well put together, professionally done thing all the time, did you? You didn't think that every single time I didn't do a stream that I wouldn't try and get a little weird and authentic, did you? Down the rabbit hole. Let me show you. Let me show you the last painting I did. I'm going to tape it up here so you can see it because I want to talk about it a second. Okay, here we go. Here we go. It's going to sit there. It's going to be weird. It's going to be fun. I love this painting. I do. I really like this painting. Oh, it's kind of dark. Good morning, Krista. I see you. Michael, I see you. Vincent's not here. Close the door. But he's here. He's, you know, my love, my family. Okay, this painting, I finished this painting days ago now. It's been days. Yeah. Yeah. Alex, welcome. Welcome to the weirdness. It's going to be a strange one, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be weird. Okay. Traditional. This is all traditional up here. Somewhat traditional, you know. We know what traditional is. It's all about the exactness, about like, hey, look, this is the light side of the head and the dark side of the head and the transitions and all of that stuff, right? All that stuff that we get caught up in. And it looks good. I'm happy with it. So cool. Awesome. But as I was working my way down off of one of the streams, I was here and I needed to resolve these 2 hands and the neck and everything. I needed to resolve everything. We're going to turn off this for right now. It's distracting. It's distracting for right now. And as I'm working down, I'm looking up here and I'm thinking Nicholas Uribe, I'm thinking Soroya, I'm thinking John Singer Sargent, I'm thinking all these artists that are just absolutely amazing and traditional and everything. And people that I've really looked at, especially Uribe, and I'm like, you know what? There's so much influence there. There's so much influence up here, and it looks good, and I'm happy with it. But now it's time. It's time, Chris, to find you. Who are you? How would you make those marks? How would you make those marks? And I was doing this at a time, and I would suggest this with everyone. I would totally suggest this with everyone. You know, maybe your studio's in your living room, and you have a family, right? And it's hard to be alone. It's hard to be by yourself. It's hard to be off in your own space, or maybe not. Maybe you have a dark studio like mine, and you're a hermit, and you can be a hermit, and you're stuck in here. And then you can let things just kind of go, right? You can just put on some really loud music, or not so loud, or what you like, or what can get you into the moment deeper, and find that authenticity. And this is what I did here. I had some music on, and I lost myself within this. And I found myself at the same time because it was a bit more authentic. Is it traditional? Does it stick with this modus operandi of this is how we paint pretty portraits and wonderful stuff? No, it moves away from that. I asked a friend of mine, I said, hey, I want you to look at this painting on my phone. Tell me what you think about it. And this friend, I knew this friend, she likes very exact paintings. It is exactly what it is. She likes high detail. And I thought, I would succeed if she likes the traditional part and doesn't like the non-traditional part. And that's exactly what happened. I knew her preferences. I knew who she was. Although she did look at where the hand was, this one down here, and she was just like, yeah, that hand doesn't look so good. So I fixed it from her. So she not only gave me what I wanted, but also helped me out, right? Chris, as long as you like it, that's what matters. Exactly. As long as I like it. Even if I alienate every single person that's listening to me right now, every friend or family member that I have, as long as I'm being true to myself and nice to people and not terrible, right? You know, I don't want to be an awful person. But if I get a little wacky and different because I'm finding my inner voice, you know, I always think about those moments that we have when we're truly ourselves. Think about those moments when we're truly ourselves, right? Usually it's like we're at home alone and like we're in the bathroom of all places, you know, and there's no one in the world looking at us and we're being 100% authentically us. You know, we got on the music and we start dancing. We never dance in public because, you know, we can't dance, right? But we're being authentically us. How can that be part of the painting? How can that be part of the painting? So as we move through infinity again, as I had the music on, as I was painting, it felt a little bit less like painting. It felt more like, I don't want to say flow state. I think it was a little bit more than that. I think it was like a sonic euphoria or hypnosis. If you guys have ever been to a concert where you just lose yourself, right? That's what I'm talking about. It was that, and painting was connected to it, and I really liked it a lot. But I'm feeling the music, not classical, and it's not like I'm in a dark club being pushed around by the sound. It's physical. It's hitting me like punches and mental, hazy, addled introspection, letting go euphoria of music. Yeah, this is actually me typing this because I was getting into the music as I was typing this. This is what I want to communicate within this painting here. So we'll go back to the painting. And I want to show you a couple things, okay? Look at this reference. Look at that. Interesting. Interesting. motion, feeling, sounds, euphoria, energy, movement, pounding music, hitting and adjusting, phases apart, reality gone, and the essence of the image, repeating, remaining, somewhat playing the keyboard as if I'm within the moment as well. It's a lot of fun. So we start traditionally on this, okay? So I have these images. These are the images. Here's the original image here that I took. Small edits within it. You know, I think cropping mainly, and maybe I adjusted some of the colors and like the contrast or whatever. But there's this really cool tool that I found online. It's called moshpro.app/light. Okay. And the cool thing about it is I can go in here and I can upload that image. All right. Here's the image. And there's a million little things we can do. Not a million. I always express like there's all these things you can do with it. I can pixelate the image. I can polarize the image. I can do slices. This is fun. I can do jitter. I can melt. I can wobble. I can shake. Woof. That's a little crazy now, isn't it? Oh, you're not seeing any of this. We got really crazy. Just let me show you from the beginning. So the original image. This is the original image. You know, it's fun sometimes, like switching things around. You know, doing these little buttons and things like that. I mess it up sometimes. So this is the original image with some adjustments, right? Some adjustments to it. And then this is the program, moshpro.app/light, right? And I don't think they're using AI for this. I hope not. If you guys know me, you know I hate everything generated now. Here's the image uploaded. You can do JPEG, GIF, WebM, whatever. And you can do all these cool things to it. I'm going to go through it again. I like the slices. I like the jitter. I like the melting. And then we get really crazy with the wobble and the shake. And then it's just, you know, this is the energy. Like, look at that visual image. Isn't it crazy? It's absolutely crazy. Okay. This is crazy time. But this is the feeling as I'm painting. This is it. Like, this is the visual feeling. Maybe not that ridiculous. Maybe we get into something a little bit kind of calm down, right? A little calmer. And then I ended up with this image exactly. So we calmed it down a bunch, right? And then the cool thing about OBS, which I really like, is when I go into OBS, I can bring my ref in like that. And then you'll see the same thing. Well, you won't see it, but on my iPad, I got it over here on my iPad too. So isn't that cool? They even put a watermark on the bottom, mosh. Mosh. We're moshing the crap out of it. Like it's in a mosh pit. You guys know what a mosh pit is. Come on. And it's a little dark. It's a little dark. Okay? It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. You won't be able to see some things. I won't be able to either. We're going to go a little bit down the rabbit hole. Okay? And this painting, everything that I've led up to this painting is going to be about me trying to find that moment. Trying to find the idea, trying to find the feeling within what I'm doing here today. As I begin this painting, it's going to be a little bit untraditional, as if the stream is right now. And that's okay. That's okay. And I'm fully prepared to lose any revenue on this stream at all, because I'm going to be playing music in the background as well. The music is mainly for me because it helps me get into that moments, those moments. Whether you like the music or not, it's going to be there. there may be a lot more quiet time within this as well. There are moments, I think, within our artistic journey when we have to sometimes not let anybody in. Stephen King, in his book On Writing, there's a really cool point of it where he's in the first part of the beginning, maybe first or second draft of his book, and he calls it writing with the door closed, and he doesn't let anybody in. Then eventually opens the door and lets people in. So right now, even though we're on stream, I think I might close the door.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Okay. Let's see what kind of messes we made. Oof. The hell is that, Chris? What are you doing? Crazy. That was so much fun. That was so much fun. Let me turn up these lights. This has got to be one of the coolest ways to start a painting. One of the interesting things about being a teacher, okay? One of the interesting things about being a teacher is coming up to someone's painting and going, wow, you're there. Of course, they're going, oh, this is terrible. It's so awful. It doesn't look like John Singer Sargent. No. And you're like, dude, you're there. Let me just hit it a couple times and I'll get it there. Yeah. The title of the song, please. So you can only get that off of YouTube's, unfortunately. It's Tom York doing The Clock live at Down the Rabbit Hole. Tom York, lead singer of Radiohead. Hello, Chris. How can I find a flexible palette knife like yours? Which brand? Tanner, welcome. Boy, you came in at a strange time. It's the first time maybe there. You're like, what the hell's going on? If you're still here, you know, the brand that I have that's pretty flexible, I've had for so long. It says, I can barely even read it. It says something Italy, and I think that might be RGM Plus. My suggestion, don't buy online. Go to your local art store and pick up the palette knife, okay? Test its flexibility, okay? If it can like flex down that much pretty easily without bending or breaking, yeah, it's pretty good. You know, without as little pressure as you can. This one isn't as flexible as I would like, but yeah, there you go. In person, it's like buying shoes. Well, I wouldn't buy them online. Maybe a lot of people do. I don't know. I don't like buying clothes online. I got to try it on first. Yeah, see, Krista said the same thing. I like all different kinds. And that same thing is about brushes too. You know, the flexibility of a brush. I bought new brushes, guys. Okay. We're getting into the regular stream now. So I'm trying new brushes. Snap, super cheap by Princeton. A couple of these. And then some Utrecht brushes off of Dick Blick that are inexpensive. And it's all about feeling. Why do I buy those brushes? Because how they feel for me has no bearing whatsoever on you or anybody else on the planet. It's specifically within feeling. Because I have brushes that I've already used that I like the feeling of, and I can't buy them anywhere anymore because that store closed down. Same thing with palette knives. You may love a really stiff palette knife. Depends on what you're doing, you know? Liquitex is a great palette knife. Okay. Check out the store, Michael says, you know, with Liquitex. That was relaxing though, and you let loose. Yeah, energetic, relaxing, kind of in the flow, just really going for it. And now, you know, this is the fun part about this. This is the fun part. Tanner says, thank you. Just couldn't find a flexible one on my local store. I learned a lot from your videos. Oh, good. That's awesome. If you can learn a lot from me, that's fantastic. Hopefully it's all the right things you're learning. Whatever that means. 10 years from now, Tanner, you might be like, that crap I learned from that guy online, boy, I learned what not to do. This is the great part of this painting. You see how I'm jumping all over the place? This is my brain. This is me. This is 100% me. Just like this image jumping all over the place, right? Like at what point What point am I grabbing information from this image, all over the place, right? Does the image matter? At any point in that image where it's flexing and moving and all over the place, are we going, hey, that doesn't look like a real person. It looks kind of strange. No, still looks like the person. Just got some weird kind of video stuff going on with it. It's pretty fun. But I like this point here, because there's a lot of things down. There's a lot of things in the wrong place. There's a lot of things that need correction, heavy quotes, because we decide what we're going to correct, when we're going to correct it, how we're going to correct it, because right and wrong is up to us. The greatest thing that we can do as artists, that we have on our disposal as artists, is the fact that we can create the entirety of our own world right within the canvas that we're working on, or the digital media that we're working with, or whatever media you're working with. We decide where it goes down, when it goes down, how it goes down, and if it's right and wrong. And it's the exploration of that, not the, hey, where does Chris think this looks good? Although that's good sometimes. If I had Richard Schmidt in front of me, I'd, definitely ask him and do what he said. A good artist, right? I would listen at that point. But there's a moment, like I said, you got to close the door. The door's closed right now. It's a bit open because I'm letting you guys in on this as well, right? There's a time when we open the door. There's a time when we close the door, and we're like, you know what? Do not disturb me. I'm going to be all me for a moment. And it's hard to share that. It's hard to share that, and to find our spaces, to find the moments where, yes, we're doing things that people may not like, but feels really good to us, right? Feels right, feels interesting. So what I'm doing right now is I'm having fun in these little moments. So before, it was about everything. It was about a lot of movement, a lot of gesture, a lot of throwing things down, and not caring about where they go. I'm not cared about drawing. Whatever. I don't care about that. But now I'm going to bring the energy down. Okay. Bring it down a bit. Can we be authentic with lower energy right now? There's this moment I see within the video image where right here on the nose, it gets this like beautiful pinkish, like super bright color. What I need to do is find some fluorescent oil paint. Oh, that's what I need. Fluorescent oil paint. Find those moments right now. This is what I'm doing, where I can be authentic in multiple energetic levels. That only means something to me, I think. Is it helpful for you? Maybe. The wonderful thing about artwork, the wonderful thing about training and working hard and having fun and doing this as much as you can, in the short lives that we live, the wonderful thing about it is eventually you do it enough, you think about it enough, is you have these times when freedom can come in, and you can just kind of let things go and just let things flow. And it's more about the process, this beautiful process of just putting something down, and it goes down where you want it exactly in the first try. It's few and far between, honestly. Sometimes we're painting and we're painting and we're painting, And we're on that plateau. We're on that plateau. We're on that plateau. And oh my God, we're on that plateau. And then eventually, bam, something hits us and we're on to the next level, the next level, the next level. We keep leveling up, I think. Just keep leveling up. Where all these fundamentals that we've been studying for years and years and years, they do come together. They come together. And they come together in the back of your brain. They come together way back there in the subconscious. You've allowed all of that information, value, texture, edges, drawing, proportion, everything. It comes together in the back of your head. And you let it stay back there. And in the front of your mind is nothing but expression, nothing but, letting it go. And you make a painting and it's like, this just flowed out of me without any effort. And it's probably one of the best paintings I've ever done. Those are the moments that are just so much fun. We can get there. Just takes, at least for me, it took me to go through a lot of the fundamentals, a lot of like stutter steps where you have to think about every single thing before you put it down, right? A lot of really bad paintings, and then eventually we get there. Eventually we get there. Just keep going. Keep going. Keep consistent. Consistency. The wonderful thing about this image that keeps flexing and moving is it's a reminder to me. It's a reminder to that beginning of this stream where the moments of authenticity, where I think about the strokes that are me, that are what I want to put down. I know that seems esoteric and kind of weird and off the cuff, right? But how do you put down brushstrokes? If all you had to tell history was 100 brushstrokes, and through those 100 brushstrokes had to communicate who you were as a person and all of your history and everything that you went through, this craziness that is your life, all the wonderfulness that is your life, what would those 100 brushstrokes look like? How would each one go down? What would the edges look like? Would it be a big brush? Would it be a little small brush? A bunch of little small strokes? Would it be a bucket of paint? Would you jump into like an excavator and fill it with paint and then throw that down onto the canvas somewhere, or create, a crucible of molten metal and put that onto a surface? Would that be you? We think about these things. Yeah, I know. You're worried about drawing. You're worried about perspective. You're worried about having the right materials, creating a good looking painting. You're worried about all this stuff, and that's fine. But sometimes it's best to just say, you know what? For this moment, I'm going to put all that aside, and I'm going to try and find who I am through this painting process. Why are you doing this anyways? Why do we do this? I mean, in most of society right now, this is considered a hobby. And we're never going to make any money on it, right? Yet the people that say that don't look at a lot of the artists out there that are making a ton of money on it, right? Yeah, but that's not going to happen to us. We need something a little bit more safe. There isn't anything more detrimental to a life well led than trying to be extremely safe all the time. We get so upset when we make a bad painting. In fact, we disallow ourselves to make bad paintings all the time. Most of the time, it's the one thing that we want to stay away from. For all costs, like no matter what it takes, stay away from a bad painting. Make sure you have this perfect process in place that will create a painting for you. Please don't let it be a bad painting. I think the bad paintings are the most important in some instances. Maybe we expressed ourselves a little bit more clearly, authentically in a few of those brush strokes that we did that was part of that quote unquote bad painting, right? How would we know? How would we know unless we tried it anyways? Chris says to do it this way. This artist says to do it that way. This person says you should do it this way. Really? The backbone of the entirety of the modern art system has been built upon subverting all rules that have come before and questioning why they exist. And maybe they exist for good reasons for certain people, but maybe not for me. It's a tough sell, I think, in some instances, because in a lot of instances, we see beautifully done paintings of beautiful scenes over and over and over again, okay? We really do. We do. We love them. It's the ones that you go to a local frame shop and there's a whole bin full of the prints and they're beautiful. They're so pretty, so gorgeous. I would hang them up everywhere. But in a lot of them, big but, right? In a lot of them, they're forgotten pretty quickly, aren't they? Love Monet. Love a landscape artists that make beautiful landscapes about gorgeous scenes that are out there, and they're so well done and they look exactly like the scene that they painted. They've painted them really well. It's a gorgeous mountain. Scott Christensen and his paintings, just absolutely wonderful. I mean, if I could paint like that, I would be so happy. Or would I? I'm not sure. I think eventually I would depart away from it. I don't know. I feel like sometimes when I think about the route that we're supposed to go to make the artwork that doesn't ruffle any feathers, where the majority of people out there will like it, where we target a particular age group in marketing just like they do in movies. Well, we have to have this part of the movie even though it doesn't make sense because it's going to bring the 13 to 25-year-olds into the seats. And the director and the writer is like, but it doesn't make any sense for the movie. And they're like, I don't care. It's what you're going to do, or else the movie doesn't get produced at all. And we get mediocrity. Where once there was a statement, where once there was someone trying to say something that could affect someone's life in some kind of profound way, now there's mediocrity. Now there's the amalgamation down to the mean. you know, in statistical analysis, you got the mean and the median, like the culmination of everything that is patient and nice. It doesn't say anything bad to anybody. And maybe that's your paintings. Maybe that's the paintings you want to do, and that's fine too. Or maybe you started doing brushstrokes, the 100 brushstrokes that really describe who you are as a person. You're only 100 brushstrokes that you have in the rest of your life, you know? And you found that, yeah, I want to upset some people because this is important to hear. Oof, that's the hard moment. Where we really kind of sit down and say, okay, this is the route I need to go in. And my God, it's going to be hard because I'm not going to make any money at it, because the majority of everyone on the planet thinks it's a little too weird. But there are others out there like us. There are others out there like us. And they'll see our work and they'll go, oh, man, I've been wanting to say that my entire life. Thank you for giving me the impetus to say, oh, okay, you can do that. We can do that. We can do that. We can do things like that. And it's okay. And we can share it with people. And it's okay. It's not going to be easy. Vulnerability is not easy. Vulnerability is difficult. Thank you, Brene Brown. Thank you, Brene Brown. Writer and researcher on vulnerability. It's difficult to talk about. It's difficult to think about, but it is the beginning of emotion. Don't believe me on that. Go look at Brene Brown. Brene Brown. Brown. Oof. Life-changing. Be ourselves sometimes. Sometimes it's the hardest thing we can do, to be ourselves. I don't know. I feel like I want to get through this life and get to the end of it. Hopefully I die of old age, in a ripe old age, without any pain or misery or anything like that. But when I get to the end of this life, because don't kid yourself. We're all going to get there one day, right? We have to think about these kind of things. Oh, it's so hard. Why is Chris talking about this? Come on, just talk about materials and what materials I should buy. No. That's there. Yes, that's there. We'll get back to that. Don't worry, we'll get back to that. But I want to get to the end of this life and feel like I've done and said everything that I want to say. And I've tried it. And I've maybe failed at it. Remember that weird stream Chris did? Oh, God. Hopefully he doesn't do one like that again. These are the things that I have in my head when I'm doing this. Just like you guys, we get up on stage because your partner asks you to dance and you're like, I suck at dancing. But I'm going to do it anyways because, I'd hate to be 10 years or 20 or 30 years from now. And I'm like, I should have danced. I should have freaking danced. Why didn't I dance? Why didn't I do the thing? Oh, because strangers on a stream are people I don't know that was on the dance floor in the audience. They may have gotten a bit mean and laughed at me or something. Oh, what a terrible reason not to do something. See, it's coming into fruition, right? It's a mess. It's a total mess. But I'm looking at those moments. I'm looking at these moments, these little moments. Like, you know, we'll go pink and green, back to green and pink and blue and yellow, blue, pink, yellow, green, blue. Like, oh, so beautiful. So beautiful. Last night I was staring at a painting that I started a month ago, and I was not in the mood. And Chris's voice popped in my head, just do it for 30 minutes. That crazy Chris said, and I painted for 60. Fantastic. That's wonderful. Great job, Alex. Great job. I think Dennis said something too that I missed. Sorry, Dennis, I'm getting back to you. The stream has given my mind a spark I've needed. I'm going to start my next piece in a similar way. I love the approach. Awesome. Go for it. Go for it. Let it go. Let it go. What are you grabbing onto? What are you holding on to that's keeping you from trying new and different things? I remember listening to a recording by Alan Watts, W-A-T-T-S. I love Alan Watts, philosopher from the 70s, and I think 80s as well. Listening to Alan Watts. And he says, imagine this. Imagine that the moment you're born, you're thrown off a precipice, thrown off a cliff. And it takes about 75 to 85 years to reach the bottom of this cliff. And you're falling this whole time. You're just born. Wow, that's got to suck, right? It's got to be terrible. And you're falling and falling. And when you were thrown off, there was a little bit of chunk of the cliff that came off with you. And it's falling with you. Falling, falling, falling for like 75, 85 years, hopefully 90, hopefully 100 years we're falling. And this little chunk of rock, we're just clinging on to this chunk of rock. Oh my God, we're falling. We're clinging to this rock, right? Why? It's heading in the same direction we are. It's going to the same place. It's not going to save us. It's not going to change our life in any way. No, we're headed right to the end as fast as we can because time is inevitable. And if there's one thing that I've learned more than anything by doing art every single day, 4,945 days in a row, is that as soon as you finish that 30 minutes, it feels like it's 30 minutes later and it's on to the next one because the next day came by. And life and time is glacial, yet unrelenting. And every single day we wake up, we do it again, 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 again. And that's what life has taught me. And it's no use hanging on to these things like, oh no, I may make a bad painting. Oh no, someone may think that I've done something a little bit weird or may not like it. It's not helping us. It's not helping us become the person that we want to be, to do the things that we want to do. We let that go. Let it go, Alex. The painting may suck. It may be terrible, whatever that means for you, right? We don't know what suck means for us unless we figure it out. No one can tell us how good and bad our paintings are. We determine that on our own, right? Look deeper into these moments of creation. Look deeper into these moments. Not just at the end product, but like, oh, what was that process? It was really interesting. I had so much fun. I put on my favorite music that just allowed me to dive deep into emotion. And that's the feeling that I want. That's what I want through the rest of my art time. I've discovered a new level for myself. And I don't think I can paint any differently after that. That's the kind of emotion and feeling that we want to get to. And unless we try it, unless we let go of that rock because we're falling, let go of that rock. We won't do it. We won't do it. Let go. How many of us are at home not doing the things that we know that would be so much fun in our life because we're so afraid? We're so afraid of just life in general. I don't know. I don't want to make that trip because, you know, what is my family going to do while I'm gone? You know, the kids, the cats. Let's prepare for that, but let's go on the trip. Let's go for it. Let's go on this trip, this journey of life and art in our own way. Let's find our own way. And that was day 13 of at least 30 minutes with no gaps. That's awesome. 13 days. Fantastic. Keep track of that. Keep track of that. Let that be. That's each of those days, okay? Each of them are going to be like, imagine a train car, right? I don't care. It could be an old train or a new train, doesn't matter. But each of those days are like the cars on the back of the train, and it's full of 1,000,000 pounds of motivation. And the longer that line gets, like every single day, your train is moving, you add another car behind it, just pushing it forward. Keep track of it. How many train cars you got behind you, pushing you forward? I got 4,945. Don't compare yourself to that number. 13 is amazing. It's fantastic. Numbers are abstract anyways. We could call it tin can. We could call it anything we want. Don't compare yourself to the numbers, but keep track of them. And this is the most days I've ever done in a row in my entire life is what matters most. If you could say that to yourself and have those trains kind of keep pushing you forward. But if you keep track of it, if you keep track of how many are there on those really tough days that come along, and it isn't an if, it's when those days come along. When those days come along, that's when you need to look at that number and go, oh, hell no. Life, you're throwing me a big curveball today, but I don't care. I'm going to get, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes done. I can do this. I can do this. I feel like ass. I feel terrible. Things are going awful. My brain's not in it, but I'm going to do my minimum. I'm going to show up and do it because I can. And those bad days, those are the train cars that weigh like 16,000 tons. Those are the bigger train cars that push everything forward. And then the next day that comes along that you don't feel like it, or that's a little bit difficult, you're like, well, I've already done this before. I've been here. I know how to do it. No worries. No worries at all. I got this. I got this. Krista says, we have to be ourselves and be accepted for ourselves is what I tell myself every day. Yes, exactly. Accept ourselves the way we are, our authentic selves. What is that? Who is that? Who's the most authentic painter? What do you love? What do you dislike? What values do you have? What virtues do you have? Follow that. Try and be as authentically you as possible. Be nice to others. Yes. Be good to others. Maybe you don't have to be nice to everyone, right? We don't have to be nice to everyone. Maybe there's a certain person that's like not so nice. They're kind of a jerk. I'm not going to be nice to them. No, thank you. But I'll be good. I'll try to be a good person, whatever that means to us, right? Getting into a lot of weirdness here today. as I move through this painting. And I am thinking now a little bit about drawing. I'm thinking a little bit about drawing. I'm using these brushes. I'm liking the Utrecht brushes, by the way. It's not for you. These brushes are not for you. Don't mistake what I just said as me liking these brushes being a brush that you should buy, okay, or that you should try. The only reason why I bought these brushes because I think maybe, sort of, kind of, they would be like other brushes that I bought with a certain feeling to them that I can barely describe. Oh, we do that thing. Like, they even have it on YouTube where I could sell a product in the middle of a stream. Ah, that feels so terrible. I would never do that. Utrecht brushes. Dick Blick. Actually, they're inexpensive. Maybe you would like them. I don't know. Synthetic. I like synthetic brushes. Krista says, me personally, I need to start listening to music or a book to stop feeling like I have to be responsible every single second of the day. I feel like I have to get and do everything and please everyone. Yeah. You know, my partner, people pleaser. Me too. You know, a lot of times it's hard. It's hard. It's really difficult because you're like, I don't feel like doing that. I don't want to help this person. That's not me. I don't do that kind of things, but they asked me. But I'm their mother. I'm their father. I'm their blah blah, whatever that may be. So I need to do it because I need to be a good person. Instead of saying, you know what? I trust that you can do this without me. And you got it. So you go for it because nope, that's not me right now. I always talk about this analogy. You know, we're on a plane. I know we've all taken plane rides before. And they say, what is the first thing when the cabin pressure changes and those little masks pop down from the top? They say, put it on yourself first. Take care of yourself first, because if you've passed out because you don't have any air and you're just flopping around doing nothing, you're not helping anybody. So put the mask on first on yourself, you know? Take care of yourself first. If you have a bunch of medical problems because you haven't been watching that, you've been taking care of someone else all this time, well, guess what? They need to take care of you now because you haven't taken care of yourself first. Oof. Man, I'm sorry I'm getting into a bunch of this stuff, but like you said, personally, I need to start listening to music or a book to stop feeling like I have to be responsible for every single second of the day. Right. We don't. We have to have that empathy for ourselves. You know, like I do it. Dude, I got to look at this. Look at this craziness I do. It does help me though. I call it craziness, but it's helped me. This is my protocol. I have about, I don't know, 20, well, not 20, few thousand of these pages I do every day. Things that I do every day. You know, it's repetitive. And I know that I've defined things in here like reviewing my life plan alignment, discipline, minimums, consistency, make art for me, share art for connection, the painter's path, big thing, active at 90, really big. I want to make it to 90 at least. Hopefully I can be a centennial. And then be my partner's hero, 50 plus years of marriage. These things are I review every day, like that. I review my calendar, my to-do list, today's intentions, today's path. I exercise, and then I do my artwork, YouTube, the painter's path, meditation, panel and finishing, art post, social posts, exercise again. I clean something, time with family, light dinner, eating sunset, digital sunset, clean and pick up, meditation and stretching, and then bed on time. Ask me how many days I actually get to all of that exactly. Oh, I wish it was more consistent. But there's some days where it's just like, I don't have the energy, do my artwork and I'm good, right? And I need to stop it. Yes, Krista. Find out what makes you happy. What's best for you. Do that. Magnus is here again. Seeing faces on the palette. Nice. It's like seeing bunny rabbits in clouds in the sky. I don't see the faces, but I'm sure they're there. There's a face in the painting maybe too. I'm not sure. Krista says, oh, I love planes and I want to paint a warplane for my son because he is an airplane mechanic. Oh, that's pretty cool. That sounds like a lot of fun. You do that. Isn't that great? The greatest thing about that is, you know, it's not like, oh, I need to paint this painting and at least make, you know, 10K on it so that I can pay my bills or whatever. You know, because a lot of people do that and I can understand that too. But, or, oh, I need to make this painting and it has to be kind of in this look so that it has a chance to sell. Ugh, gag me. Please. No, I want to make a painting for a friend because it'll make them feel better because they're in the hospital, you know, and they're dealing with cancer. Right? Give me that every single day. Painting for connection, sharing for connection. And then letting it go as well. Let the painting go. Well, I don't want to make the painting look like that because my son may not like it because it needs to be looking like this. No, 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 no. Stop that. Stop it. Make the painting that you want to make for your son. Be authentic. Don't be someone else. Don't do it a certain way because you think they would like it better, but make your authentic painting. Because you can find that connection between you and the painting and your son and be authentic through the whole thing. And maybe he doesn't like it. Maybe he's like, I don't know, Mom, it looks kind of strange. I wish it was a little bit more mechanical, like a blueprint, you know, or whatever they may say. And you're like, well, that's okay, son, but that is as authentic from me as it can get. Ooh, it's hard sometimes to get negative responses on our artwork, isn't it? We don't want to hear that. We want to hear nothing but, and I'm the same way. Like I seek out the negative, but I still want to hear positive all the time. I think the more that we jump into that unknown territory of really being authentic and trying to talk about or speak about who we are as a person, you know, the more we go down a very vulnerable pathway and the more that we get rejected or we get negative responses, I think, yeah, you know, I hate to say like it builds up calluses, but I think what it can do for us is begin to give us an understanding of what we should listen to and what we shouldn't, like what's healthy for us to listen to and what's not. But to say, hey, I put it out there. Omar says, hey, Chris, I feel like I'm burnout. It's like I want to give up. I want to be a really good artist, but I don't want to be an unrealistic dreamer. I want to do it. Yeah, you know, that's a really good question. It is so good. It's hard. Like there's no person that can figure it out but you, okay? I'm going to tell you that right now. Like How you move through that, you can get help from me and other people, motivation and, you know, advice, but you have to figure it out like your way and do it your way. Cause it was like, you know, quitting my job at the beginning of the year. Luckily, my partner was like, okay, let's do this, you know, and all in, right? So lucky because of that. But everyone else was like, you're crazy. You're crazy. I prepared for it. We saved up. It wasn't anything like that, right? The burnout, this isn't the first time you're going to feel burnout either. Let me give you all the bad news before I can give you the good news, Omar. Because there's, you know, there's some common humanity there. And usually, you know, if you talk to your family or someone close to you, people that love you, right? That don't want to see you fail. They don't want to see you hurt in any way. They want to see nothing but wonderful things happen in your life. And that's great, but very unrealistic, right? So I'm going to give you the truth of things are going to be hard. This is not going to be the first time that you feel burnout. This is not going to be the first time where you're unmotivated or you feel like you're never going to make it or do what you accomplish. And there's a definite possibility that in the future, your ideals for what making it right now could be completely different, right? Where maybe it doesn't turn out the way you wanted it to. Like for example, I am all in and 100% understand that in about 6 months or 8 months, I could need to get a new job in something that I don't enjoy because I need to pay the bills. That's a good possibility. We have to face those things and not run away from them. That's number one. Okay. The possibility is there. And thinking about that will keep you realistic. Will keep you realistic. Look, it'll keep you in this mode where, okay, I'm feeling burnout right now, but I know that number one, I need to have some empathy for myself. Why am I feeling the burnout right now? What has been my past few weeks? What's been going on in my life? Not just like how much time have I spent on artwork and what I've been doing. Is it repetitive? Am I spending too much time? But do I have a lot of health issues going on? Did I just break up with somebody? Did this happen or did that happen? Did all these like mental stressors kind of come into my life and cause me to run into this? Am I not eating right? Am I not sleeping right? You know how important that stuff is? This is like, that's foundational. Like your health, foundational. Like, no, it's not the pillars of health. It's the foundation of health, right? Like sleep in general. So think about all these things, okay? Don't just say, oh, I feel burnout. I'll talk to Chris about it. Sorry, really terrible voice. Not trying to make fun of you there. I apologize. But what I would like you to do is to think about it, okay? And say, all right, what has happened recently? And can I get a little bit more realistic on this? Not realistic, a little bit more data oriented, like a scientist, where we move outside of emotion and more into like scientific. We're really looking at the problem. We're going to try and understand it, maybe not fix it, but understand it a little bit more, right? Okay, so these are the things that are happening. We're understanding a little bit more, or maybe even at the end, we're like, yeah, I still don't understand why I'm feeling all this burnout. Well, let's make a change. Let's see if I reduce my art time down to 15, 20 minutes a day. Maybe that's the cause of it. Let's see. What if, you know, just like with painting, we can ask what if all the time. What if we did this? What if we did that? And then move through it. The hard realism of it is, well, I want to continue moving forward. So even though I don't feel like it, and that's what burnout is where we've done it so much, we're like, oh my gosh, I just don't feel like doing this. Let's bring in that difficult word, discipline. And let's say I'm going to try and push through this, and but I'm going to do it in a very knowledgeable way, where I'm just going to cut down the time that I'm working on my paintings or drawings or what I'm doing. And it's okay. It's okay. I know I'll get through this. And I'll tell you that, like, it's always kind of an up and down, right? We're super motivated, and then life kind of comes in, and then we're super motivated, life comes in. You know, it's a flow. It's going to happen again, right? You'll be motivated again, but analyze, understand, and try something different. I was 5 years, like I have told this story a million times before, I was 5 years away from doing artwork, a big hiatus. When I came back to it, I was not as good as I was before I left, because we lose. It's not like riding a bike. Even riding a bike is not like riding a bike. That idiom that people say all the time where, oh, it's just like riding a bike. If you haven't ridden a bike in 20 or 30 years, you're going to jump on that bike and you're going to go, holy crap, I'm going to fall off this bike because I've forgotten how to ride a bike. You remember some of it, you remember some of it. But doing artwork, you lose it if you don't use it. It's very similar to an NBA player that's been off for injury for a few months. They have to work hard to get back to where they were before. So I figured that out after 5 years, a 5-year hiatus. And I said, okay, we're going to look at this in a very practical way. I'm going to say, I'm going to do artwork every day the rest of my life, but that's not practical. You can't do artwork. You can't do a painting every single day. There's no way. Okay, what can I do? 30 minutes. That's what I decided for myself. For you, it may be something different. I talk about this all the time because it's so important. It keeps us going. It keeps us understanding what's happening in our life, being as cognizant and empathetic with ourselves as much as we can, keeping that discipline, adding in those minimums, and keeping going. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay? Let me see what else you said in there, because this is important. I want to take you through it. Hopefully help you on it. Like, I want to give up. No, that's not an option. If you've decided that this is your path forward, here's the quote from Atomic Habits by James Clear. You can suck, but you can't stop. We can suck, but we can't give up. Have some sucky days, 10, 15, 20 minutes of nothing, and then just relax. Have a good day. Allow yourself to do that. So you know what? I'm just going to do 30 minutes of painting today, or drawing, just really quick, simple thing. And then I'm just going to watch movies the rest of the day, play video games. Do that until at a certain point you're like, you know what? It's time for me to get back to it. It'll happen. I do that sometimes. You don't see it, but sometimes I do it. I want to be a really good artist, but I don't want to be an unrealistic dreamer. I want to do it. Yeah, define what really good artist means to you. I still don't know what really good artist means for me exactly. I thought it was like, improving skill level, getting better at drawing. But there was a certain point when my drawing, I felt like, got good enough. And I was like, that's all I need. Now I need to be, I feel like expression is where my game is. It changes. I think just keeping on that path and keep doing it, I think, is really important. And because you're talking about this right now and you're asking me and you're thinking about being careful, not being unrealistic, and dreaming about things that may or may not never happen, right? Which could happen. The possibilities are there. You're up to bat in the World Series. and you have a chance of hitting the game-winning home run or striking out at the same time. But that game-winning home run is possible too. Just keep doing it. Keep going. That's what we got to do, is keep going. Krista says, that's what I did for my dad. And every time he was in the hospital, he had me take it every time and hang it up. Oh, that's fantastic. I'll take a picture of his tattoo on his arm of the warplane so he can't say a dang thing. That's good, Krista. Awesome. I will feel I'm dead if I stop drawing. I'm still drawing no matter what. Yeah. Yeah, just you think about that minimum within it too. Like having this boundary of like, I can't do less than this. And also I know, like for myself, if I'm painting more than 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours a day, I know I'm headed straight for burnout. Okay. But because of everything in my life, I know that I'll continue to do 30 minutes a day of art every single day. And if I miss a day, like I get knocked out or something, I'm in a hospital bed, I'll make it up the next day. I've done that before. There's been days when the day was so crazy, I completely forgot, like really early on. And I was like, okay, I'm making it up the next day. It's my rules, my life, my rules. Okay. You can do that. So yeah, but don't miss 2 days. That's habit suicide, as James Clear in Atomic Habits says. Habit suicide. You can miss a day, but you can't miss 2. And I would make up that missed day on the second day as well. You can suck, but you don't quit. Let's allow for those sucky days. And those sucky days could be, I made a terrible painting. What did I learn from it? Or for the past 6 months or 3 months or 2 months or whatever it is, I only did 30 minutes a day. And that has happened to me. I finished a whole painting in like 6 months, and it was nothing but 30-minute sessions every day because my motivation was so low. But I just showed up and I did a little bit for 30 minutes, cleaned up, done for the day. Yeah. Michael says, try to learn from everything, even from burnout. Yeah, exactly. Like, don't just sit there. We don't want to just sit and let life happen to us, right? Because life will happen to us. Things will happen. And I think it's best if, we're in a really bad situation or something happens and we got upset. We said the wrong thing. Something didn't happen the way we wanted it. We feel terrible about it. But to sit with that and go, okay, what happened there? What really happened? Maybe ask someone that can help you with that as well. Don't forget, there's other people out there that can help you. And to say, okay, how can I do better next time, right? To admit defeat, to admit, you know what? I apologize. I wasn't at my best on that day, right? All these little things that we have to go through that's pretty hard sometimes. But to learn from it, if we get 1% better every single day, we're so much better at the end of the year. We're deeper into closer and closer being the best selves we can ever be that way. Just 1% a day, one little bit a day, 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you decide. A little bit every day. Boy, it piles up, guys. It piles up. And then also, back to Omar real quick. I thought when I started this daily art journey that, number one, I thought I could do at least 4 hours a day. And I think I could get to 10,000 hours in 5 years if I could just continually do 4 hours every day. Yeah, 5 years, master artist. Okay, let's do this. Boy, I was so naive. My average over the past 14 years has been an hour and a half a day. A lot of days it's just a half an hour, some days more than that. But having like that reality will come in and begin to adjust who we are, right? It'll happen. And we learn from it. Still keep moving forward, still chugging forward, sometimes slow, sometimes fast. Krista says, Omar, please don't be hard on yourself and give yourself time, even if it's a rock, then you did it. Yeah, it's just an example. I draw random things 15 to 20 minutes a day. So good, because like there's been so many like 30-minute days where I'm like, I'm just going to draw this box that's sitting on my desk. And it's like so challenging. I'm like, oh, the perspective. I got it all wrong. Let me try again. And I'm like, how could this be so difficult? This simple, simple thing. I mean, the world is in that little simplicity. And yet we kind of look at it like, man, if I'm going to do anything, it has to be this great, amazing production all the time. And it's only worthwhile if it's this big and that awesome. You know, I know for a fact that what that leads to is disappointment and, yeah, just issues and trouble. It doesn't have to be that way all the time. It can't. It can't. Common humanity is there, and it tells me, and I've met so many people and have so many issues in the same way. It tells me that there is not going to be tremendous amount of production every single day. It's really interesting because, and Omar, I think you know this, like mangaka, the artists that do manga in Japan, there's a real big issue with a lot of those artists reaching burnout that was so detrimental that many of them, or some of them, are not alive anymore because of it. Like, oh my gosh, like that's how bad the working conditions was, because they were in such a rush to get a ton of things done, you know, working tremendous, horrible hours. And, you know, either their life is destroyed because of it. They've hit so much burnout that they can't continue. And it was like, yeah, when we're on the outside of that and we're watching every issue coming out and it's all amazing with all these beautiful drawings and everything, and we look at that and we feel like, oh, that's what I need to do in order to make it to be as good as One Piece or Naruto or what is it, One Punch Man or Chainsaw Man or whatever, all those amazing mangaka, right? But then we look deeper into it and it's like, okay, they literally killed themselves for, well, and figuratively in most cases, for this art form. And then you're like, no, that's okay. I don't want to do that. What I really like, I like Berserk. I don't know if you've ever read Berserk. It's really cool because this is an artist that, you know, I'm not sure if they went through a lot of burnout, probably, but I think they took more time and effort over a longer period of time. And it's a beautiful book, just amazing story. The drawing at the beginning is not so good, but by the end, it's absolutely amazing. Yeah, so don't be hard on yourself, like Krista says. Give yourself time. Yeah, you'll get back to it. You know, that empathy. Yep, the picture is moving. Definitely. Alex says, Omar, if you can do art for just X minutes, then I'm pushing the needle forward. Yes, it might take longer, but I'm growing minute by minute. Show yourself kindness. Life can be so hard. Don't give up. Yep. That's for all of us. Yes. And we all should know that those days are coming for us too. Oh, definitely for me. Those days are behind me and ahead of me. It's not if, it's when. And we'll prepare for them. You know, I'll prepare for it. I know how to deal with it. I'll have tough days. And because I know that they're coming, I'm also going to try and take care of myself as much as I can. So to hopefully prevent, you know, pain and awfulness of health issues that I have sometimes, you know. But when they do come, I'm going to do what I need to do. There won't be streams on that day. I feel so much energized today. I feel like I could go a lot longer. How long have I been painting? Oh, it's at 2 hours now. Hour and 40 minutes on stream. Now, this painting feels really authentic to me as well. The painting is very authentic. Yeah, just to answer your question, Omar, because I think you came in a little bit later, but this is the reference I'm looking at. It's moving as well. That's what I'm painting from. And all these little moments that you see within that, those little greens and pinks and purples and yellows that kind of pop up within the moving image. I'll capture some of them. Why would you do that? Check out the beginning of the stream. I'm not going to repeat it. Well, at least not today. I'm being a little bit more exact now. You know, I threw down a bunch of stuff and I love where this is going. I have like so much to react to here. This image that's moving that you see on your screen is a constant reminder for me that this is where my authenticity lives right now, within this moving image, within, you know, pushing myself to find my current authenticity that could change within the future. But right now it's about that movement, that emotion. It's not about trying to make a painting for someone or for sales. You know, if I was doing work for selling, you know, to try and make a bunch of money, I probably would be doing landscapes, honestly. And they would be pastoral in nature and pretty and well done. And I would be looking at people like Matt Smith and Scott Christensen and Clyde Aspaveg, all of these amazing landscape artists that are out there. There's so many more than I haven't mentioned, but that's just not me. So when someone close to me says, yeah, I don't like that, it would be nice if you did more of that painting because I did a landscape or something. I did something that they enjoyed. And they're like, oh, you know, I would like it if you did more of that. I'm like, okay, well, thank you for your comment. Not going to happen. Ooh, I want a more, what do you call it? A pink that, I want a hot pink. I wish I had a hot pink. The closest I can get to hot pink is alizarin crimson with white. Neon pink, a neon color. It's hard to find neon colors in oil paint. I know in water mixable oils, Holbein has some really crazy intense neon type colors. In acrylic paint, there's lots of neon colors. I feel kind of jealous there, but I'm not moving to any of those. Well, not to acrylic, but heck, if I could get some of those in water mixable oil and use those, and that would be fun. Because, you know, mixing them with traditional oils, just use them just like traditional oils. No big deal. Same thing. That would be cool. And Alex, if you're still here, I got all your messages on the Painter's Path. Don't worry. I'm going to be doing some videos on the Painter's Path just for you, just to answer those questions. Maybe even Alex asked this wonderful question. I don't have to say it. I have to look at the text. What you need to get started in oils. I was like, why haven't I done a video on that already? So I want to do a video on that goes over everything that I would suggest on, you know, if you're coming from watercolor or acrylic or pastel or whatever, and you want to try oils, I want to give my suggestions on that. It's going to be a little different because there's a lot of complexity there. And I'm going to talk about that complexity also. You know, I'm not the kind of person that makes videos on YouTube just to try and get as many views as possible. You know, I'm going to really research the idea, work on it hard, and think about what is the best thing for the people that I'm talking to. I like this brush. I like it a lot. Krista says, Omar, I'm not sure what kind of work you are into, but maybe try and step outside of the box for a moment and maybe that will help. I work on different mediums. It helps me. Yes. I love just staying with one medium. I know of a lot of people that use multiple mediums, you know, and it's like, oh, let's try this. Let's try that. And it really helps to push the motivation forward. I think I talked about that the other day, where it could be even, oh, I'm trying a new brush, or I'm painting from a moving image. This isn't the first time I've done this. I painted once moving water from a GIF because I wanted to understand moving water. So I got this GIF image and it would repeat over and over and over again, just like this image here. And it was fun. It was just like, hey, let's dive into this new and different thing. And I was, again, motivated for more days in a row. Learned a little bit. Can I do a painting of this object, but only use 10 brushstrokes? I'm going to paint an apple in 10 brushstrokes or less. You know, those little challenges that we can put in for ourselves, that's always fun. So all these little things that we can do to make our process more interesting and fun. There's so much creativity out there. There's some friends close to me or here that I live with, and they're so creative all the time. And I tell them, I'm like, oh my gosh, I would never think of something so cool like that. Just so much fun. Yes, do it. So cool. I wish I was that creative. I subscribe to cLOSer. So there's a website. I believe the website address is This Is cLOSer. I'll put it in chat. This is, yeah. Ooh, I'll start with this post. Oh my God, this artist here. Here, let me show my screen. Look at this artist, guys. So this is this website, thisiscolossal.com, all about art, craft, design, photography. And I subscribe to them and I get, and it's just a few people, for humans by humans. And I really stole that from their newsletter. I get their newsletter like Monday through Friday. I don't think they do it on weekends, but so much creativity. And I marvel at the possibilities and the beauty with, you know, artists all around the world, and they share all kinds of different things, not just paintings, but all kinds of different things. Let me put this in chat. I'll go here. I'll put this link in chat so you guys can check it out. But it's so amazing. And I would suggest 100,000,000% to subscribe to their newsletter. It is so cool. Like here's what I'm looking at right now. Like there's a person that there's paintings with fur. Oh my God, that is so cool. Okay, what is this made out of? Needle felted wool on industrial felt in artist's frame. Look at the perspective on this car. It's a little wonky, yes, but look, it's got snow on it. There's snow on the ground. I could tell that that's snow. They pulled the felt apart a little bit to show like some reflection or some differences in value there. Isn't that so cool? Like that, whoa, the basket, the the basketball basket, the wood, like that difference in texture, that I like there's numbers on that license. It's so cool. Like I have trouble painting that. Oh, this one's really cool. Like if you want ideas of different things of like what's possible, this is a great place to start. They share like all kinds of stuff. Oh, Aaron Weisenfeld, I love this artist. I so good. Just interesting subject matter. Oh, I love this. I shared with actually the person that I'm painting right now, this person. Um I shared this what I'm about to show you with them because they do a lot of sewing and things. And I was like, look, these are fungi sewn and put in nature. Isn't it fun? I would love to do that. Just do some paintings and then put them somewhere in nature for them to just devolve and turn back into the soil. Maybe someone will come by and see them and go, oh, look, a painting. Cool. And keep walking. That'd be so cool. Creative stuff like that. So, yeah, the Colossal newsletter is amazing for ideas and new things that you can try and do to keep you motivated. Alex says, wow, thanks. I know you're on it. Awesome. Omar, I started on acrylic, then tried watercolor, and I've been playing with digital. I love to explore and even tried master copies just to do different things. I do draw every day though. Yeah, totally. There's a like an infinite amount of things you can do. Omar says, comic art, I study ink and penciling coloring like Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane. Yeah, totally. Krista says, I tried that one too. My fingers got stabbed too many times. I give them so much credit on those wool felt. That's really neat, Omar. Thank you for sharing. I'm learning oil painting, watercolor, marker, coloring gouache. Oh, you got all kinds of stuff that you can kind of move through. Yeah, you got this, Omar. You really got this. Try different things, work through it, accept it right now. Yeah, the lack of motivation is there. It's okay. We all move through it. Have a little compassion for yourself. Always remember you can suck, but you can't quit. We're not doing quitting. You can change the way you do things. You can try new and different stuff, but no quitting. You got this. I believe in you to do this. You have to believe in yourself as well. Definitely. Don't let it just be me. Oh, that was way too dark. Need to be a much more subtle line there. It's okay. Can take some white right next to it. I enjoy how like authenticity in artists and individuals all over the world can come out in so many different ways. Like even if we're talking about something as similar as oil painting, and our authenticity could look exactly like Monet or Michael James Smith or Jackson Pollock or Rothko or a million different oil painters out there, right? That could be our authentic way of expressing ourselves. It could be super crazy, all over the place, and super abstract, or it could be very refined and calm and quiet, or super detailed. We're getting out a microscope to see every single little bit of paint that goes down. And our authenticity is to stress over the little tiny bits that happen. That could be us too. I love that. Okay, I'm really enjoying the way this painting's going, but I'm at my limit today. At my limit. But now I'm into more oil painting. I found it really helped me to understand coloring more. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. I guess Omar's asking for everybody's Facebook or Instagram to follow. That's a good thing. Hey, everybody, share your YouTube channels, your Facebook, your Instagram all the time here. There's an abundance of people that can follow you. You're not going to be pulling people from me. It's okay. No worries. Yeah, share it. Dennis says, I get myself into trouble so often. I could sit online all day looking at art. Yes. Yep. Or looking at video games or watching videos, and don't get into shorts or reels or those little short videos, TikToks. Oh, it's just like your brain just gets connected to the dopamine fire hose and like hours go by in an instant. Like, be careful of that. Definitely. Usually I look at artwork and everything and I get motivated and I can't wait to get back to painting, and that's what happens for me. Yeah. Yeah, this is looking pretty good so far. I may or may not work on this off and on stream. If I do, I will let you know. Well, you'll see the difference in it. To get into some of the music and some of that emotion and mode that I want, because there's a tendency, especially when I'm talking to you, and I know this about myself, there's a tendency where I will begin to tighten up a little bit. Okay. And I have to kind of close the door sometimes. And I think it's important. Omar, I have oils, acrylic, oil pastel, pastels, watercolor, as well as graphite, charcoal, and a few others. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I think Krista, he wants, or Omar wants you to share Instagram, Facebook, if you're willing. But everybody can share that here if you're willing to. Just links to your accounts. Be totally cool. Totally cool. Okay. That's it for me today. I still have a few other things on my list that I need to accomplish for the day, but this is one of the fun ones today. You know, I would have liked at the beginning of the stream if I checked on my lights, because you can hook them up to your phone, these lights I have. And I remember I had a set before that would have, it was like tricolor, so you could get RGB in it. Not, this is just a bicolor thing, so it goes warm to cool, just, you know, 4300K to 6500. But the other ones, you could get purples and greens and blues, and I could do strobes like I was in a club or something. And that's what I wanted to do while I was painting this, but I didn't have that ability. So I thought it was fun enough to just have the music and everything going while I was playing. Yeah, and giving you a look into like how I like to paint sometimes. Other times I have on like the softest, just thought meditation music ever, and I need that. Yeah. Michael says, replace TikTok time with a sketchbook and pencil. I like the alliteration of that, TikTok time. Alex says, thanks, Chris. This was great. I love the closed door session. Yeah, I should do more of those. I want to see how I can get more crazy with them, though. I want to get more effects and things on the stream, so it'll be like, I don't know. When I was painting this the other day and I had the music going, I was like, I wish I was in like a rave right now. And it was just, I was surrounded in lights and music and motion and all that kind of stuff. That would be so cool to just really feel it. Yeah, the shorts are dangerous. Yes. Omar, I do, but I never use them. I'm sorry. I need to actually deactivate them. Yeah. I was the same way for years on Facebook and Instagram, didn't post anything. And now it's just, I just post on them mainly for local people, because the locals where I live at in Pueblo, Colorado, like everything is through Facebook. And then unfortunately, there's Facebook and Meta are absolutely terrible, but they're the only game when you want to connect with people in your local area. Unfortunately, there needs to be an alternative out there that's better. I wish. I would suggest everyone to check out Blue Sky instead of Twitter and Kara, C-A-R-A, Kara app instead of Instagram. Yeah, if you want alternatives. And I can give you my social links on that so you can see what I'm talking about. Let me see, go to my profile. Oh, I think I can get links. Yeah. I like Kara a lot. It's really nice. I think I like that. I like that a lot better than Blue Sky. But if you're interested in seeing those platforms and what they look like, the nice thing about Blue Sky is you can control it very deeply. And you can set your feed so that you only see certain things, and you can ban and block feeds all the time, and there's no ads. And like Instagram and I never was on Twitter, so I don't know what Twitter is like, but Instagram has ads all over the place. There's no ads on Kara. So yeah, check those out. Michael says, thank you, Chris. Wonderful live. Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate that. Omar says, also, I watch tutorials about cinematography to help me. I used to film small movies with camera phone back in the day, a long time ago, before I know anything about it. Movies are so wonderful right now to get a deeper understanding of composition and telling stories and things like that. There's a wonderful website called Shot Deck. I think it's called Shot Deck. Yeah, this is beautiful. I mean, a beautiful art form, movie making, compositionally, color, everything within that. Check out Shot Deck to see like screen grabs of like some of the best movies out there. I think you have to subscribe to it, but it's wonderful. Dennis says, thanks, man. Never heard of those. You're welcome. Thanks. Never heard of those either. Yep, they're there. They're awesome. They're great. It's another way of connecting through your art. Art for connection. Art for connection. Share it for connection. Find those connections with the people that you love, the people that are close to you, and maybe connect with people like you. I mean, I started doing this stream and I didn't know anybody. I didn't know all you people before this stream. And now you're in my life and you're making things a lot better. I mean, come on. Baby wipes. I mean, that was a game changer. I learned from you guys. Few other things. Yeah, it's fantastic. All right. I'm going to head out. I'm going to stop talking. Stop rambling like I always do. And I'll see you on the next stream. I'm going to stop saying when that's going to be, because sometimes it just doesn't happen. Has to be in my mode, right? Sometimes the door's shut. Sometimes the door is open. And then sometimes I'll bring you down the rabbit hole with me. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Bye-bye.